back then, I mean, yeah, it's just when they first when I was first introduced to a couple of books on, we'll call them self-help books, I thought they were great. I think one of them was by Jim Rohn, and the other one was by Tony Robbins, Waking the Giant Within. Someone gave me the book, and I still have the book. And I took that book home, and that just changed my life because, first of all, it's a big book. So if you ever read it, it's a few hundred pages, but it's about 30 years old now, but it was just a gem. But anyway, what happened is I read the book, started outlining my goals in detail. And I think in the book, it said, make a vision board. And I said, yeah, I'm going to do that. So within a few days, my entire apartment was decorated with, positivity quotes and pictures of places I wanted to go. And I just felt like inside I could feel something changing. Like for the first time in my life, I had a vision for something that it had never happened before. And what was even more powerful about this is that I felt as if I was creating my future by putting this vision board up on the wall. And, I was doing journaling and all these things. So I spent probably about a year planning out my dream. And so what it was, when I wrote up my goals, I had three things. And one of them was I wanted to become an author. And that's been a dream since I was 12 years old. So that never changed. And the second one was I wanted to travel the world, which was a new one because I'd never really been anywhere else before. So getting on a plane and going, coming to Japan wasn't the plan to begin with. I was just going to get on a plane and go to Thailand. That was actually the plan. And the third one is I just wanted to become a better human being. And there was a lot of other goals, but they were kind of like, walk the Great Wall of China and a whole bunch of other kind of like bucket list, right, things. But those three things, though, I looked at those three things. I'm like, okay, well, the third one's going to be like a lifelong journey. So that's fine. The first one might take a while, but the second one, I thought I could do that one in about a year. But it meant giving up everything and, traveling overseas. And that concept, like that vision of doing that, just for about 5 seconds, it scared me. And after that, it became everything to me. I just became like, it was like the beacon, the North Star. And everything I did was geared towards traveling around the world and didn't have any money. So I had a good job and I thought, okay, well, maybe I can save up a bit and do this thing. But the most important thing, and the thing I want everyone to take away from this, is that the most important thing is I made a decision that I was going to do it no matter what. And I never changed my mind about that. So anyway, what happened is a few months later, after making the decision, I'm kind of leafing through the newspaper back when we had newspapers. We still do. And I never read the newspaper. So that's the other thing is like, I just picked up the newspaper. My roommate brought it home, threw it down on the table. I picked it up one day, opened it up. I literally just opened it to the first page because I usually look to see what's playing in the movies. And right there was an advertisement for teaching English in Japan. And it said, teach English in Japan, apply now. I thought, well, I'm going that ways anyway. Why not? So I remember like I spent like a couple of days, typing up a really good resume, nice cover letter, and I just shipped it off. And I think it was like 2 weeks later, they contacted me, said, come down to, we want to meet you in Vancouver. They gave me the address. And 2 weeks later, I'm in this really nice hotel in downtown Vancouver, having dinner with this Japanese businessman who owns a business school in Japan. And he said, we're hiring like 3 people to go over there. We fly you over. And they had like, 100 applications or something. So I thought, well, okay, I don't have a degree in education. I'm not sure. And that wasn't a requirement, but it would have helped. But anyway, long story short, had the interview and they called me back a few days later and said, we picked 3 people and you were number 4. So you didn't get the job. I'm like, okay, well, it's not going to change my mind. I'm still going over to Thailand or Vietnam, and that was my plan. Right. But I think the next day they called me back and said, before the third guy dropped out, so you're in.